Nothing in this recording is intended as investment advice, and the people in this recording may hold positions in the companies they talk about. Do not make any investment based solely on a tip or recommendation. Please do your own research.
Hello and welcome to Zak's Traders Cafe. Today I'm joined by Marie-Claire Dwek, who's CEO at Newmark Security. How are you today, Marie-Claire?
Very well. I'm very excited about the future of Newmark and where we're going.
Right, well, we've spoken before and you seem more excited than you were the last time we spoke, which is obviously a win. The share price slightly up today off the back of your final results, which came out this morning. And I understand that you've already been speaking to some of the great and good in the city, and now you're speaking to me. The situation in terms of the company as a whole looks, let's say stable. You're sort of cruising altitude and everything else, but there has been a major driver in the business, which is HCM. And that, as you've said in your RNS, has driven growth for the group as a whole, with revenue up 14% and ARR up 24%. But you're the person to tell us the detail. Maybe the first thing is what HCM is and what it does.
So time and attendance, we offer hardware and software services that allow companies and enterprises to effectively manage their staff in and out. It helps manage the data and employee data and tells employees when they're in the building and when they're out of the building. And this has been a way that large organizations, retail or large organizations, need to then manage their staff. So we provide time clocks, software and services that work with that, and we connect the physical employee to the digital employee, transacting and protecting people's identity, time and access, and all of their security data, allowing efficiency and productivity for people to manage their employees well. And it's extremely sensitive data, and we manage that with strict compliance regulation. So hence that we're sort of gaining more and more traction with our customers, who are generally large software houses, about 67% of them in America, that need hardware to onboard their software and their payroll services. And so it's a very exciting space. So as we grow that business, we were really a product business, but now with every clock, we attach services. And our recurring revenue has grown dramatically to 3.6 million from a couple of years ago, from 150,000. And that's really where we're seeing the growth. And because of that, we're sort of seeing more services attached, and we're also displacing Chinese manufacturers as well, because they want the security and the services that we're able to offer as a UK and US business. And really, we're seeing our compounded growth on HCM recurring revenues grow to 121% this year, from 151, as I said, in 2021 to 3.6. And this has been running at a 57 per year annual recurring revenue. So very excited by that, with 12 million monthly clock-ins and clock-outs. We've also just this month launching our tablet. This is our first software only, which is it's not to displace our hardware, but it's where they can't get connectivity, and it will be used for sort of building sites and other areas. And we've got interest in that, and it's an iOS and an Android from this month, and it's part of our 5-year technology roadmap. And we're very lucky as well, talking about HCM, that we haven't been affected by tariff volatilities because of our neutral classification as them as data terminals. So a lot going on. And a few years ago, when we were just selling hardware, with the exception of one customer in the US, we sell services now with every clock. That's why you're seeing these recurring revenues growing year on year. And we're sort of developing more terminals, more customers. We had a bit of a slower H2 last year because of a couple of acquisitions made, but in the long term, that's going to prove really beneficial. One of our customers, Workforce Software, was acquired by ADP, who are one of the largest payroll companies, and the other one, Paycor, was acquired by Paychex, and working directly with these two. And I guess the other exciting bit, which I'd like to touch on, is that we've now worked on and developed a sort of direct to end user channel, and we have integrations with Oracle, Workday we're working on, and that should be done, and SAP, and we're building pipeline on all of that. So as I said, and probably that's the enthusiasm in my voice, it's an exciting place to be for us.
Well, it does sound that this merits enthusiasm. You seem to have had a sort of a hockey stick jump in terms of HCM. That seems to be, I suppose, it's one of those things that I speak to lots of companies and they sort of say this is going to be our next big thing, and it turns out that it isn't. But your this part of the business seems to have exceeded expectations and could almost sort of take over, the whole focus of the company. Is there any limit in terms of the scale up that you could do with HCM? I mean, clearly you're only going to be dealing with large companies, not with small companies. So that, and then obviously if you're in America as well, that's even better. So is there any limit in terms of your capacity to deal with new business going forward?
So no, there's no limit. And you said we're only going to deal with large companies. Yes, as partners, they are large because it takes a lot of work. But with our new platform on Oracle, SAD, and Workday, SAP, we are able to sell directly to the end users of a size, but they don't need to be the multinationals. So we've developed that platform and we're starting to build pipeline on there as well. So low limit. And really, as you say, we're really focusing on this area of the business where sort of Safetel drags some of the profitability. We've taken out costs. So some of the projects that were moved from last year have moved already into this year, and we've already taken them on board. And on access control, we're looking at that strategic development and what we do there. So we're not standing still in any area of the business. And we continue to sort of invest in a 5-year roadmap, certainly in HCM, and know where that's going. And with the use of AI and sort of, fundamental growth there, it's good.
Right. I mean, my final point here is, I suppose if people were listening to this interview and what you've been saying and the questions I've been asking, they think that Newmark Security, well, if they guess what the market cap of the company is, I'm sure they'd be guessing rather larger than it is at the moment, which is only £7 million. I mean, if somebody said this was a £70 million market cap or even 700 million, it would not be a surprise. Do you think that there's going to be a sort of a re-rate as people find the penny drops in terms of what you're doing and the opportunity?
Absolutely. I mean, at the moment, our market cap doesn't reflect who we are and what we do. And just given that 3.6 million of recurring revenue at a decent margin with long-term contracts, just take that alone, I think we should be re-rated. Our profitability of EBITDA of 2.4 million, just given that combination of the two, I don't think we're reflected well at all.
Well, we look forward to the market waking up and a proper re-rate. In the meantime, Marie-Claire Dwek, CEO at Newmark Security, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Zak.